Have you ever pondered the power of victimhood and its impact on individuals and society? It's an intriguing concept, isn't it? Victimhood, in essence, is a toxic lens through which the world is viewed. It's a manipulative tactic, often employed by individuals who find solace in complaints rather than solutions. This may seem counterintuitive, but there's a strange allure to this perspective. The short-term benefits are too tempting to resist. It's what we call inverse blaming, placing the responsibility for one's circumstances onto others. It's convenient, isn't it? Instead of tackling the issue head-on, they simply shift the blame. This isn't a one-man show, though. There's a silent manipulator at work, playing the victim, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. They've mastered the art of making others feel responsible for their plight. It's a complex dance between the victim and the rescuer. The question then arises, are victims born or made? Diving into the roots of victimhood, we find a myriad of causes. Often, a person adopts the role of the victim due to a history of difficult circumstances, continuous failures, or traumatic experiences. However, the origin of victimhood isn't always steeped in hardship. Sometimes it's the opposite. Individuals who seemingly have it all, but lack a sense of gratitude for life, may also fall into the trap of victimhood. This behavior, whether born out of adversity or privilege, is essentially a cry for attention, a plea for the interest of others. It's a complex psychological phenomenon, one that is as fascinating as it is concerning. As we delve deeper into the psychology of victimhood, it becomes clear that this behavior is not an isolated incident. It's part of a larger pattern, a cycle, if you will, that intertwines the roles of the victim and the rescuer. This behavior triggers a cycle, activating the victim-rescuer role. The cycle of victimhood has far-reaching consequences, not just for the victim, but also for those around them. One immediate aftermath of this toxic mindset is the triggering of a victim-rescuer dynamic. Empathetic individuals may find themselves drawn into this cycle, inadvertently enabling the victim to continue shirking responsibilities. But the fallout doesn't stop there. Victims often distort reality to maintain a perpetual state of grievance. This skewed perception can be a symptom of deeper issues. Depression, for instance, can lurk behind the mask of victimhood, manifesting as a sense of purposelessness and a bleak outlook on life. Anxiety, too, is no stranger to the victim's psyche, feeding on their feelings of helplessness and fear. The most extreme outcome of this self-perpetuating cycle is the emergence of suicidal tendencies. Apathy, chronic negativity, and a constant blame game become the victim's reality, a reality they often refuse to acknowledge. Victimhood can even lead to suicidal tendencies, apathy, and chronic negativity. Victims come in many forms, often moving in ambiguity, making them hard to recognize. But there are 7 emotional styles that tip us off to the existence of an entrenched victim. First, the dissatisfied, unable to manage their discontent, they transform it into complaints and fear. They feel wronged, believing that life has dealt them an unfair hand. Secondly, the irresolute, who shirk any responsibility for their actions. Then we have the negative, always anticipating the worst scenarios with catastrophic and pessimistic thoughts. Next, the demanding, constantly seeking attention, which is never enough for them. Fifth, the inflexible, defensive people who can turn cruel when asked to change. Then the passive-aggressive, always trying to implicate others, attributing blame for their situation. Lastly, the self-saboteurs who sabotage every attempt at improvement, stuck in the same dynamic, their comfort zone. Recognizing these traits can help identify a victim and break the cycle. Ultimately, the decision to step out of the victimhood cycle rests with the victimizer. It's a daunting task, fraught with challenges and discomfort, but it's also ripe with the potential for personal growth and transformation. Victimhood is a self-imposed prison, one that can only be escaped by taking responsibility for one's actions and choices. This process is not easy. It requires the courage to face one's fears, the resilience to overcome obstacles, and the tenacity to persevere in the face of adversity. Breaking free from the victimhood cycle also means reevaluating one's perceptions and attitudes. It involves adopting a more positive outlook, cultivating gratitude, and learning to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable obstacles. To recap, remember, we've explored the complexities of victimhood, its consequences, and the different faces a victim can wear. But most importantly, we've highlighted the power of choice in overcoming victimhood. Remember, moving beyond victimhood is a journey, but a journey well worth embarking on.